Heyo, welcome to another bonus track. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how you introduce one of these things because it's well, this is kind of like for people who haven't listened to one of the bonus tracks before. It's more of a relaxed thing where
relaxed fit pair of
we don't really
jeans.
have things planned too much. We just talk about stuff. Whereas with our other things, they're getting more structured, and we have more of a plan and idea about it. We're going to be, whereas this is going to be open. It's not just about music and stuff. It's just a bit more with it's
Just talk about everything.
Freewheeling.
yeah. So Mark, you were going to start off about that book that you're reading called Mein Kampf. Did you keep going on and on about?
Yeah, I thought it would be good, but you know what? After reading a bit more, I think the guy, I think his painting
3
was...
swastikas out of 5.
Yeah,
He
3
doesn't
swastikas
go
out of
far
5.
enough. That's what you're going to say, yeah. But anyway, I suppose for this week's what we were for a jumping off point, you went back looking at Sing Street, Mark, there a while ago. We were actually going to try and put it into a regular podcast, but I suppose we wouldn't really have enough kind of like for a whole episode kind of on our team, and as well because, but we went off listening to it, looking at it as well.
Just watch it with
I
your
mean, you
eyes
can
closed,
listen
were
to it
you?
as well, but,
Yeah.
it's not the best way, to appreciate a
experience a
visual
film.
and audio medium.
But it's a fucking good movie. It's one of your favourite movies, isn't it?
I kind of stumbled upon it, like, just out of the blue, because I remember, like, seeing it come out at first, and I was like, oh, it's just going to be a stereotypical kind of, Irish movie, it probably won't be that good or whatnot, and I kind of, very easy lumped it in with a bunch of the kind of other movies like that, and I started seeing, like, a lot of people from as far away as, like, America, talking about, like, seeing this in, like, film festivals and whatnot, and saying it was amazing and all this. I was like, oh, I might have prejudged it, and I went off and watched it, listened to it. Jeez, we're all saying it now. But yeah, I went off and watched it, and I was really blown away by it. It was just, it's a great movie all in all, but also it just has a stunning soundtrack, and it's just a really good feel-good movie with great music and whatnot, but it also
Brilliant
is a great...
actors.
Oh yeah, brilliant actors. Like, they're just really, they really inhabit the roles that they go into. But what I like about it as well is it's pretty much just a big homage to kind of like 80s music of its time.
See, I take it because I didn't look at it for a long time. It was only when you started recommending that we went off looking at it because of the fucking cover to it. I thought it was like a Green Day thing.
What?
Because it does. You look at the cover of it. It looks like a fucking Green Day album, and your man looks like Billy Joel.
Billy
Or
Joel?
Billy Joel
Armstrong.
yeah. He's an uptown girl. With it, so I didn't, because I didn't. And then when, like Mark saw, and then when you said, oh, it was an Irish thing, I was like, oh, fuck, we'll give it a look at. Like,
But I suppose it goes to show as well, I mean, like, the kind of the periphery characters, the adult characters are in it. There's a really strong supporting cast. I mean, you've
Aidan
got Aidan
Gillen
Gillen
is
as
a-
the father. You've got, like, Don Wickerly as, like, the horrible
your
brother.
woman, the mother, is from The Commitments.
The Commitments. What's her name? I can never remember her name off the top of my head for some reason.
Fanula.
No, it's not Fanula. What the hell?
Vanilla.
Vanilla.
What's her name?
She was such a vanilla, they named her twice.
Oh my god, I can't remember her name for the life of me. Maria Doyle
Natalie
Kennedy.
Murphy. Oh, yeah, Maria. Yeah, she played Natalie Murphy. Yeah.
Maria Doyle Kennedy.
Yeah.
I mean, she's fantastic. Like, it's stellar, like, supporting cast. Never mind all of the main characters in it.
The
One of
brother.
the kind of the love interest is also plays Mary in Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like,
Yeah.
Jesus, it's fantastic casting.
It is, and your man, the brother, is it Brendan? Jack Rayner.
Yeah.
Yes.
He was in fucking it was only after I looked at it, I was like, oh my god, he was in Midsummer.
Yeah,
He's the main guy in Midsummer. He plays in
right.
every. It would never have.
yeah, copped it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I had to go and look it up, yeah.
Now Midsummer is a fucking awful movie, but like he's
It's a
actually
big film,
he's
yeah.
really good. He's the best thing about it, really.
But yeah,
But yeah.
what I just like about it is it's kind of like, for anyone who hasn't seen it, the main premise is it's a family living in Dublin in kind of the mid-80s, where Ireland at that time was without any other kind of other way to say it, fucked. So everyone was just like, right, lads, we're off, or they were living in poverty in Ireland. So the guy was, or the main character was going to like a private school of some kind or whatnot, but they can't afford it anymore, so he ends up going to like a Catholic brother school, which is the equivalent like public schools over in Ireland that anyone can go to for free. And he just kind of has a hard time of it at first, but decides he sees this kind of girl out after school and goes up to her and starts talking to her, and out of his head he just goes, "Do you want to be a model in my for my band's music video?" And she's like, "Yeah, okay, why not?" And he's like, "Oh, cool." Then he leaves and he's like, "Great, now I have to form a band and do a music video."
It's very like it's very funny, but it's fucking incredibly dark as well, because like her whole thing is like her mother is fucking bipolar and she's probably bipolar as well.
Yeah.
And there's like, she says stuff about being abused by her father, and it kind of like that
She's
just
living
dropped
in a
into
girls' home.
yeah, she's living in a girls' home, and all that they want to do is go over to London, because London was seen as like the fucking streets are paved with no work in Ireland at the time, and if you
the
wanted
streets
to
are paved with gold. You just
make
get
it,
to London
yeah.
just to get out of Ireland.
and if
basically,
you wanted
yeah.
to make it as a musician, like, you'd never make it in Ireland. Like,
Yeah, because one of his friends in it, like who played like the one who was Aiden in it. There's a part that, like, this guy can play any
Every
musician
instrument.
because his dad was like in a cover band for weddings and whatnot. And
but he's
He-
locked up for fucking assaulting someone, wasn't it, or robbery?
no,
or
like
something.
he's like, oh, he's up at St. Jude's or something like that. And it's like, oh, is that a hospital? It's like no, it's where they send you when you have a drinking problem and you beat your wife and
Oh,
son.
that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah. And do you remember in one of the scenes, like the kids were like downstairs doing the music and stuff, and the mother was just upstairs like masturbating
Oh, with the
away and like
vibrator,
being
yeah.
creepy as fuck. I was like,
Yeah.
oh my god.
Yeah,
But
there's a lot of weird undertones because it's a very happy on its out front, and then as soon as like they just like say
Very
these
dark.
passing lines, like there's a scene in it where your man's kind of like the main character is he has all makeup on. He's trying to like
Find his look.
find his look and be very similar to like the artists he's seeing on like Top of the Pops or on music videos and whatnot, and the Catholic brother and it doesn't like it, so he brings him into into the office and he's like, you need to wash that off your face. And there's like a scene where he's like, oh, you can even use my bathroom, and there's like, it's hinted at, like you can see like he's like, no, I'm not going into the bathroom with the priest, and he runs off kind of. And
It
like
was a big thing for like with sexual abuse, kind of like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
with the
huge
Christian brothers and
rampant
stuff.
in the
Yeah,
Catholic Church, yeah.
But the
I mean,
undertones are really
he even
well
says
done.
it. Even he's like, you're
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
enough without makeup, and it's kind of like you kind of go, oh, please don't take this dark turn, please don't go down
Yeah.
that road. Oh my god,
I think
it was like just
I
a
think they
half an
probably-
hour of them getting raped.
I'd say they were like in the first draft. There probably was that in there, and they're like, well, you know, like.
it's dark
I
enough
can- I
already.
can-
Let's not go down there. Yeah.
I can make a song about him, you know, like forcing me to wash makeup off my face, but I don't think I can have Connor at the end of year disco singing "You fucked me up the ass."
Yeah, let's not go down.
But
that
it's
particular
such a
route.
fucking good kind of like thing for Ireland in the 80s. Ireland in the 80s was way grimmer. But
But that's the
You
thing,
can,
though,
but you
as
can
well.
see it's like it's a grim background, but they're trying to find their place in the world. So it's kind of like it's a coming of age, just in a very difficult era for people.
yeah.
Yeah, and it
That's
felt
the
like the older brother, Brendan, was trying to live vicariously through his little brother.
That's
Because
the thing, because
he
he had
gave
nothing.
up.
Yeah, but he had nothing. There was no opportunities for people that
No.
age. Like,
And-
there was
and-
Because you
nothing.
can see,
That
like, he
is the
went through
thing.
college, and then, like, he became disillusioned with
Yeah.
the world and whatnot. Because, like, you can see he dropped out and all that. But it seems like he was smart, and he was kind of where Connor was going to go. But he became disillusioned and kind of turned his back on it. And now that he can see Connor isn't even out of secondary school and is like pushing on and doing all these things. It's kind of, even if it is just a teenage flight of fancy, it's kind of shining a light on that he is. Even if he turned his back on what he thought was bad, he's also turned his back on his future as well.
I said pushing to get out of Ireland is just like get out and make something to yourself.
That's because there was nothing.
Yeah,
like there
that's
was
it.
not. Like we grew up in it.
That's it.
There
And
was-
every single person in Ireland as well is if you're on the dole, it was like you're on the dole and that's it. But most people in Ireland then try to do something artistic. They're either musicians or they're artists or they're writers or something. But every single person is on the fucking dole. And
Yeah.
that was it. That was your
There was
only-
like that was at the 90s was a great time in Ireland because you had everyone was on the dole, but like every second person was an artist or a musician, and there was
Yeah.
like a lot of creativity. Never went anywhere for fucking
Yeah, that was
like
it. It
most
just
people,
yeah,
but
it was just just local art scenes and all that kind of stuff.
In
Because
the
you
last-
there's nowhere to go.
Probably 300, 400 years, there's probably been, gaps in it, but, like, there's probably been more times when there's more people emigrating out of Ireland than there is people coming into Ireland. It's like, there's, like,
Absolutely.
since the famine, like, the Great Famine, there's just been this kind of culture that kind of, like, kicks in of mass immigration. Like, you see it when, like, how many Irish people immigrated to America or England.
We've populated the four corners of the earth.
Yeah, like there's always like jokes about people. It's like we're so fucking prevalent and we breed so much like rabbits that like you could travel over to like Siberia and you could be in like a little one like lane town that only speaks rubbish and it's or Russian rubbish.
Rubbish.
Rubbish. You fucking
Bloody
racist.
hell, my God, Freudian slip there. Eh, well.
Russian.
Yeah, only speaks Russian, and you'd still find like an Irish lad behind the bar going, "Oh, what do you have?"
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that was, I think, before the famine, wasn't the population something around 18 million?
Yeah.
And the population at the moment is currently 4.5 or thereabouts.
Because
So that's
you don't even have to look that far back. Even like the last kind of the housing crisis, that recession that we just got kind of passed out. When like people like before that, like with the Celtic Tiger and all that, there was so many opportunities for like Irish people because then it was like a new day for kind of Ireland and all that. But then when that kicked in again, sure there was no jobs again. So like people coming out go like who were like promised if you get a degree you get a job, and they're coming out going no you can't. You can go to McDonald's if you're lucky, or you can go to like a retail job or something. So they ended up just emigrating in mass to Australia and Canada, and some came back, but a lot didn't. And I can like it's just become it's happened so for so many generations. I don't think it's ever going to go away entirely.
No.
No, it's gonna happen
It's
again
a pressure
now.
valve for
It's-
Ireland.
yeah.
That has always been the solution. It's like you get your degree in Ireland and you fuck off abroad. I think the last wave was about 500,000 or something like that when went out into the 2008 sort of depression as such. But it is that's the whole background to Sing Street though. Is just there's nothing in Ireland for like kind of. This kid was like he had his dreams and aspirations.
Yeah.
He was a musician. He wanted to make something of his life. So off he goes to England to try and do it, kind of a thing.
But that was what it was, because it was like they showed footage
It
from
also
like,
shows
the
that
news
like
at the time.
even from the start of it, like the music for him seems to be an escape, not
Yeah.
just from the Ireland but also from his family situation.
Yeah,
it kind of shows
crumbling around his ears,
yeah.
basically.
So
yeah.
it's kind of they kind of like use him as like a micro, like kind of like the bigger problem that everyone else was dealing with, where they were using music or arts, as you were saying, Wayne, as an escape.
Because there was a really good quote that I liked and kind of copped from it about kind of escapism in a sense, where when you don't know someone, they are mysterious and they can be anyone, which kind of links into their music and being able to kind of not kind of play around, but like to kind of become whoever you want to be.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I
yeah.
quite liked that.
That's the thing. I mean, like when sort of somebody is a bit mysterious, they can be whoever you want them to be or whoever you need them to
Well, that
be.
was the whole thing
Exactly.
with this Witch Year Woman. Like, he thought that she was like this ideal girl and model, and she was like nearly older than him or whatever. But she's not. Like, she's like a year older, and she's
and
more
that's it.
fucked up than him, and you know, and it's he's the one that she should be relying on, you know, instead
Yeah,
of the other
exactly.
way
They're
around.
just two kids trying to find their way
Yeah.
through sort of teenage years and trying to act grown up when neither of the two of them are any more than, you know.
I'm sure two of them die at the end thing anyway.
They don't die at the end.
Spoiler!
They don't show that they die at the end, but they die at the end.
They don't die at the end. It's perfectly reasonable to go out in a dinghy in a storm and get to England.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of going. Okay, like that was my one big gripe. I mean, obviously, spoiler alert and all the rest is kind of like foot passenger tickets aren't all that expensive. I was kind of like for the ferry. I was like, why couldn't you just do that? Just
They
get.
had no money at all.
Yeah.
But I was like, Jesus Christ!
But obviously they had some money. Like
Sell a
like,
guitar, sell the fucking boat, the grandfather's boat. He could have sold that and got
Who would
fucking.
buy it? No one had money.
I think it was more that they had to leave there because of what they were talking about with the other brother. He planned instead of just going, and he got stopped. And I think
That's true,
they
yeah.
were Connor was terrified that if he planned it and thought it out,
Something would happen and they just get stuck. Yeah, true enough. Yeah, you just have to act on instinct and not
I
plan.
think it was like it was kind of a if you wait for life to happen, you'll always be waiting, kind of.
Yeah, you have to
But
actually
did-
act.
Did you go off and look at the commitments?
No, we didn't get around to looking at the commitments.
Which is the commitments is Like it's similar.
That's the epitome of Irish music